Last week we had an assignment that we were using. I was showing techniques of how to block and use guides, or how to use your references, how to translate animal faces in this case, how to translate your references. And how can I mute the private servers on Discord so they stop popping? I have to figure this out. Hold on. User settings, notifications, because this gotta stop. These sounds have to stop. 1 second, you guys. Here we go. Well, I already have them off. Messages. Okay, I think it's over. All right. All right, no more popping sounds. We're back. Sorry about that. So I was saying, so last week we went over some techniques of using these guides here of how to use some land lines or imaginary lines on how to translate your photo references on your own drawings to make sure that they're proportionally accurate. I give out the assignment to some animals, some pet pictures, and people got to pick the animal they wanted, and at the end they get to do their own twist or flavor to make it, make it fun. And then we're going to go through their homeworks and give them some insight on how to make it better and so on. So like I said before, I'm going to try not get to everybody, and if we didn't, well, that's sad, but I'm trying my best. To give you the heads up, if it's your first time here, I recommend that you watch the video on YouTube on the last two classes. Where we go through the basic shapes of how to block in the basic shapes of the body. And last class was the basic same thing with the basic shapes, but on the face. If by any chance I don't make it through the end to do the demo, I can do it next week. I wanted to go through shading next week, but what we're doing, well, essentially what I wanted to do at the end today was we're combining the last 2 weeks together. So we're going to do the same thing, but now we're going to do two animals and how they relate with each other. So I saved some really cute pictures of you of what they call animals being bros, when it's different species of animals being friends together. So you have like a dog and a goat and a deer and a rabbit. So how they now proportionally and how they relate with each other. My cat is screaming on the background. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys, if you hear him. I've been wanting for him, you guys, to meet him, to come here, because he's the picture that I'm currently drawing. He currently is on the screen right now. He's exactly like that cat. His name is Pantalaimon from his Dark Materials, but we call him Pan Pan. When he's being bad, he's Pandemonium, and when he's being cute, we call him Pancake. So let's get started. So let's see. Notes. Name this. Favorite show, Kira? Yes, I love this. I thought this show did a great job. I think it's one of the, well, you use red here, so let me use a different color. I think it's one of the most accurate book to shows depictions I've ever seen. I thought they did a fantastic job. I love the books. Okay, let's go to blue red. Blue, I think, hi Jerome, and welcome. I thought you did an amazing job on this. I was very happy to see. So let's start with the good. I'm very happy to see the stylization that you, I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but the stylization that you did, I really liked it. The face is a little more squished in. I really like that. And I was actually very pleased too with the landlines, no landlines. I'm mashing Spanish and English right now. The guidelines that you chose to pick. I see one more drawing. Nice. Sorry, I'm gonna have to close this down. The notifications are acting crazy. Okay, so I was very happy to see the guidelines that you chose to pick. I'm so sorry, I gotta mute you guys. My cat, 1 second. Pantalaimon, stop! Stop screaming, baby. I muted. I hope you guys didn't hear that. So yeah, I really like the. This color's not working. Maybe that's better. Okay, I really like the ones that you picked, that you chose to pick. That distance is really good. I like that you picked the top of the nose. That's really good to the bone cheeks. I'm very happy about this diagonal that you chose, that you were paying attention when I was talking about how the eyeballs, how they touch to the ear. I was very happy to see that. I hope that helped too, for you to see it, for you to see how that extends and how like makes it like cohesive. That's also another technique sometimes we use in illustration. I don't know the name of it actually. I just know it. If anybody in the chat, or maybe Morgan, I know Morgan is here. If you know the name of it, plug it in on the chat. Is when sometimes when you're sketching or doing an illustration, is yeah, like sometimes if you're like doing like an ear, it's just like continue the lines, and then then later you come back and erase them. And then let's say if you go like the little nose and this goes here, continue the lines and then erase them. It's like at the end, you end up having like a lot of flow around the illustration around, because like without you knowing, like from far away, it's like all these lines are like connecting with each other. A lot of designs like that are like, example, like the Apple logo, or a lot of logos have that. Like when without before erase, it's like a bunch of circles together, but then when you like erase it, you get this full shape of lines touching each other that never ended. I don't know if it makes any sense. I will have to build an example for you guys, but it's really cool. For a really cool example will be for illustration that you're doing, like really cool for shortening on exaggeration of proportions. I think some good examples of it will be Scott Fisher, Foster, I will say, Tron Wen, I think she does that a little bit too. Foster, Scott Fisher, I'm trying to think who else on top of my head that does some of that. I think Rebecca Gay does that a little bit too. The golden ratio. The golden ratio is this guy. Yeah, that's the rule of thirds. That's the golden ratio. This one is kind of like, yeah, I'll explain it more. You know what? I'm going to write it down. I'm going to write this down for you guys, and I'm going to make a class tutorial on this. Okay? I promise you that. Let's make a future class on this. Future class on continuation lines. I learned this when I was talking with Scott Fisher and Greg Manches on the IMC workshop like 10 or so years ago, and it was a really cool. And Mike Mignola too. We were just hanging out talking, and they were going over that, and they started showing it on their sketch, and it was really, really cool seeing it behind their own work, how all those lines connected, and just made it more alive in a way, like with this hidden movement behind it. So go back to the critiques. I am so sorry, I got derailed. Go back to blue red. So yes, I'm very happy to see the lines that you picked, how those lines keep getting extended. That's very beautiful. Your proportions are very nice. Your proportions are pretty on. They're pretty spot on. Your exaggeration is really nice. I really like the gestures of the ears, the minimalism of it, the movement of it. It's lovely. I like that even that you see fur everywhere. You're like blocking it in big shapes. That's really lovely. Your cartoon version of it had me rolling. It's so funny. It looks just like my cat. It looks just like Pantalaimon. I want to bring him here. I want him to come so you guys could see him. And the hat is just so freaking funny. I can't even. I honestly have no tips for you to make it better because it's just so solid. If anything, I will say, again, nitpicking, just nitpicking. It will be, nitpicking will be the whisker pads. The whisker pads, I will say they're more wide than up, especially here. They're just more fat. Yours are more like this. They are more wide. Yours are more skinny. That will be one thing. And I will say keep a little, don't lose the definition of the cheekbones. Like try to keep the definition of the cheekbones. Let's see, Morgan, implied lines or leading lines? Maybe that's the term. I'm gonna Google it after. I'll keep those words for after then, Morgan. Like remind me after. I'll look it up to see if that's what the term is called. Oh, True Omen. Yes, those circles. Yes, those are using the golden ratio proportions. Correct for the logos. Yes. Yeah. I see what you mean now. Oh, hi, Blue Red. I was just going over yours. If you want to watch the earlier critique, you can go on the video. But I was saying, last thing to wrap it up is that the only critique I have to say is that your whisker pads are too skinny and just make them wider instead of going up. They're usually wider. And to Dawn looks the cheekbones underneath the fur. And if you have to choose, this is stylistic. You can do whatever you want, stylistic. This is just my opinion. But if you have to choose something to choose to depict on a cat, on a cartoon, whatever, I will say choose those eyeliner eyes things. Like, don't lose those things. That's such a cat landmark thing, if you know what I mean. Here, like, let me see if it's black and white. I will choose that. You know, let's see. Even if it's not there, it's like an artistic license, I will say. That makes it like so cat. That's just my opinion. Or like, give it a little nose. My cat is like this cat though, that have pink eyelids, which is rare. But yeah, this is just really cool. This is just it's really nice. Next, Mossy Rock. Mossy Rock, this is precious. I saw that you guys already picked a skinny dog before, so I picked another Doberman for you guys. Okay, let's see. Mossy Rock, I thought you did really good on doing that blocking of the curves to don't get loose in the curves. I thought that was really nice. I really like that you have that curve. That's really lovely. That's the gesture curve in there. I really like too how you kept very simplistic, that you kept the life in its eyes. I thought that was really cute, and that you kept the highlight and the minimalism I thought that the information that you chose to I cannot speak English today. Jesus, guys. It's the rain. Give me a second. I'm having like a brain block with English. Okay, we're back. I think I like the information that you chose to depict, if that makes any sense. You could have chose a million lines on these eyes. There's so much information happening. But the ones that you chose to draw, to translate the information, I really like them. I think it translates his emotion and the gesture of his eyes behind it, the kindness. And all the information that you needed to translate is right there in the minimalist, simple lines that you chose. So I like seeing how you're thinking behind it, of what you chose from the photo to translate. So I thought that was pretty successful in my opinion. So whatever you're doing there, keep it up. You were uncertain. No, you did good. So whatever you're thinking behind it, you did good. And same thing with the mouth. I'm gonna tell you a little insight. Usually people, even me do that, and even that I do pet portraits and commission pet portraits, and very tricky part on animals is right here. This is my nemesis, especially on fluffy animals or cats. This always gets very tricky. And on felines, like big cats, don't even get me started. When they have those big black gums, that when they are they hang, or like Rottweilers or bulldogs or tigers or lions that have all that black, like different layers, it gets even trickier. Your face cam is in front of the right most. Oh, thank you for letting me know. Yeah, this right here. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, it's a tricky area. And usually it's one of the easiest parts when you're doing pet portraits and faces that usually people get wrong, or you will get wrong. So I'll recommend when you guys are doing animal portraits or animal faces, that's one of the parts that I will recommend to look at the animal you're drawing. I recommend to look at other photos of the animal from different angles to understand what's going on there. In my experience, each animal is different, each breed is different. And if the animal's fluffy, it just gets even harder because you don't understand where it ends. And sometimes it's like it ends low, sometimes it goes up. It's just tricky all around. And sometimes we have tendency to like draw them like weirdly smiling or weirdly droopy sad. So that's just something for you guys to keep in mind. And I was gonna say, what I'm getting at is that I think the way that you translated it too, it was really nice. You see how he has that little weird, like little side smile, and it can get cartoony very quickly. Like you're not here, he's little cartoony, but in the realistic one, it's pretty good too. So it didn't get lost, like you got it. So this translates good on yours. It doesn't look weird. Usually it looks weird on most people. What else? I'd really like to how you broke down all the curves into the basic shapes. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Overall, this looks pretty good. And also how you did this different change of planes. I like everything that I'm seeing here. Your stylization is really cute. What you did with it. It looks like a Pokemon. If I will have to say anything to make it better, it will be that it will be more on the bonus, not on your original drawing. On your original drawing, you have your landmark, especially the nose, pretty spot on. Actually, no, a little bit more to the middle. The nose in the animal here is more a little bit to the left. So if I were to do that guideline on the eye, which you have yours is like pretty spot on. When the distance, when I do that, yeah. I will say in general, it feels like this head is a little bit more tilted like this, and yours is a little bit more straight, I will say. But the size of this nose is pretty size with this nose, but when you turn into the extra credit, it gets squishy and small. Like you lost your proportions. And then everything became like curvy and you lost the structure underneath it. But again, this was the extra credit, so I'm not sure. That's just like nitpicking, but I was mainly grading this one, so this one's pretty spot on. I hope that helps, Moss. All right, next one, because oh my god, we're almost halfway through, and I'm having not even halfway. Okay, Wagyu. Wagyu. I love this. This Sphinx is so freaking cute. Do nail down the proportions. If anything, yours is more skinny, more narrow than the like this guy's a little bit more open, and yours guys is a little bit more narrow. That's about it, in my opinion. I love how you translated all of the oh crap. I love how you translated all of the information. Your landmarks. I love the landmarks. I love where you chose to keep the hard edges. Yeah, no used to those alien features. Yeah. They're very gnarly, these animals. I love drawing sphinxes. I'll show you, if we have time at the end, I'll show you my own sphinx for you guys, since I feel like a hypocrite that I'm here showing you guys. You guys are doing it, I don't show you. I'm not participating with my own. I really like this bump in the nose. I like all how you control the edges, the volume. Also, what I was just talking about, that little guy at the end, this thing that was like that I was saying that's tricky. I like how you treated it too. I like how you blocked in the shadows, the bouncing of the light. No, this is lovely. Even like you didn't get lost on all the crazy details of the wrinkles, like the ones that you chose to depict in there, just translation over the information to give you the idea, like your brain can complete the rest. I think that's very lovely. If anything, proportionally wise, to make it better, it's mainly in this final guy, really, that his face got shifted in this direction, if anything. Like this guy, it's perfect. If anything, it feels like he's got shifted, like skewed a little bit towards the front. You see, this is on this plane. The entire snout is on this plane. And this guy went in, and then it's like he has like an underbite. Like his chin went out, and he has an underbite. That will be my critique on here. And then same with the eyeball. Think about the eyeball and the cheekbone together. Like they do this here. And it looks like you have it, but it kind of like went droopy down. Like it kind of became more droopy, I will say. It feels like this is more like that, and this is more droopy. Again, this is just nitpicking stuff. Again, I don't want to nitpick on the extra bonus that you guys did extra, because I mean, it's extra. But this is not happening here. At least just a little bit. Just a little bit. Like this is like on that plane. This is a little bit more. Like I would put in the little chin a little bit more back, so it doesn't look like an underbite. Another thing that helps a lot too, you know, guys know about the flipping the image. And that's when you can see it, a lot of it. So we flip the image. I don't know if you can see it more now, that the little underbite is more out and here is more in. Or like this eye is more in and this eye is more out. So I hope that sometimes flipping it does help. I love the lighting pass you did of this glowing, this, I want to call him Yu-Gi-Oh cat. Or is it the Dragon Ball Z boss cat? But either way, I love it. This is great. I thought you did a great job. I'll say keep it up. And keep doing this type of line work. It's very lovely. Your mark making is very lovely. Just trying out my suggestion, like I say, I will say start working, like rechecking, I will say, unless you want to do a stylized, obviously, given different character, more cartoony. And we're talking just if you want to translate anatomically correct, I will say, just get your deplanes a little bit, like triple check. But besides that, I think it's great. Comcast, I think this is your first time me seeing your work. I loved it. I love that you picked a tiger. Not easy task for a first one. So say sketch ideation. Well, good, because we're going to be doing tons of animals here. I hope you guys don't get bored, because we're going to be doing so many animals. And it's the block out. Okay. I like seeing that you're keeping the angles. I like seeing where your head is at, that you're breaking it down simplistic, that you're keeping the proportions right. Yes, I definitely like seeing this of what's going on. I like that you're keeping the proportions right. I will start, my suggestion will be, which was kind of like corrected here a little bit compared to the photo, but I also don't want to correct you so much on reference, because I feel like you're going for a stylization here. And this stylization is pretty cool. Comcast, I don't know if you're here, but if you are, I would like to know in the chat if you were going for stylized or realistic of the photo. Because, yeah, I wouldn't want to tell you about some critique if that's not what you were going for. Oh, it's Kay. Okay. Oh, hi, Kay. Yeah, so I did your critique last time. I remember your name. I was going for stylization. Okay, cool. Yeah, because the first thing I was gonna say was, the jaw is more in. If you look at if you put like a line at the end of the nose, that's where the canine starts, and that's where your canine ends. So if you look at your tiger, for example, if you look at your tiger here, mechanically, if your tiger closes the mouth, mechanically he has a big underbite, like a bulldog. So he'll be like this big time when he closes his mouth. So if he went to like go up, that's where his fangs will be. So that's something to think about too mechanically when you're stylizing it, is how will the animal move. The other thing too is, of all the big cats, tigers and lions, they have the longest, if I believe, they have the biggest pad whiskers, the whisker pads. And just are very tiny. So it's kind of like, again, like a Pokemon. So it's like, is it a big cat? Is it like a hybrid? Or what kind of big cat? So if you wanted to make sure that it was still a tiger, I will still try to, stylization wise, maybe to keep some of the features that makes a tiger. So I will say maybe trying to keep having it big whisker pads. If that makes any sense. I really like, I'm a sucker for halos and crowns. So yeah, so for the stylization, I will say I love this type of how you stylize the hair. I love the eye, I love the mark makings, I love the jewel, I love all of this. But I will say keep in mind some of the big landmarks, in my opinion, again, keep in like the landmarks of what makes like a tiger. So one thing will be like, the little ears curl like that, which you have it. They have another one is big cats always have a big nose, always. Tiny noses only belong to house cats. So what makes a big cat is big noses, and that they have the black gums. Some house cats like mine, I have two house cats. One of them has the black gums, it's a Persian. But all the big cats have black gums and big noses. So keep that in mind, of like kind of like a cartoon of those things that still makes him a big cat. But on this sketch, I think this is pretty cool. I like that you kept that plain. And then you have that plane between the ears. That's nice. And then you have that connection to the ears that I was talking about. I like that I can see the cheekbone curve. I like that I can see the plane changing of the ear. That's nice too. So I will say his entire whisker pad is all of this. I think yours is about that. So if you want, I would recommend like go back and like if you want, give it a second shot and go back. I would, and if you want to give it another shot and put it again, and you want to put it on the homework chat as a second round, I'll go back and answer you on the chat and give it a second review. I'll be happy to. But I love this. I really love this drawing stylization. This is the type of stuff like when I go to conventions and I see this as a traditional drawing from an artist, I'll buy it. Like I love collecting. I call them chipocomons. I love collecting little mystical animals like this at conventions. So if you had this as a traditional drawing at convention, I will probably buy from you. I just love the line work and the style of it so much. All right, Hegel. Hegel. I don't know if you're here, Hegel. Is Hegel here? Well, Hegel, this is Precious. I don't know if you're here or not. Somehow reminds me of Shutaka. Yeah, I can see being like Amano-like. I can see it being some inspiration of Amano too. Hegel, this is super precious. I cannot stand the little bow. It's so cute. I like seeing how you started with the breaking of the big shapes and how this became this. That's a big jump. I was like, whoa. So I was really happy to see how that became that. That was a big jump, and from the basic shapes to the next sculpting of the shape. So that was very nice to see, especially from last week. I remember your homework from last week. The owl tutorial. I know exactly. Oh, sorry, I hit the mic. I know exactly the owl tutorial you're talking about. So I really like that you kept the angle of the face, like the angles, the overall angle of the animal. I think that's really nice. And the general proportions, like you have this ball and then this ball, it's like I'm seeing that. Yeah, like I see that and I like seeing that. I like seeing how you broke down these planes of what's happening. That's all very lovely. Oh no. What did I just do? Okay. Then we are having here one of those things I was talking about earlier that is tricky to know what's going on here. This is what I was talking about, like especially if they're a fluffy animal, if you don't know the anatomy, you never know what the heck is going on here. It's like, where does the mount end? Does the mount end here? Does the mount, darn it, does the mount end over here? Is it cartoony? Is it not? It gets tricky. And I think the way that you translated it looks really good. It doesn't look corny or weird. It's like, oh yeah, that's just little whisker pads. I like how you did the nose. I would recommend to extend the little nose a little bit more to the edge. You see how the little nose goes a little bit more to the edge. Yours ends too early, but that's just nitpicking. I really like how you did the little bumps, that you have those landmarks going on. Even like these little guys. Those little landmarks are all really sweet. So my suggestions for you to make this better will be, one, to do more, I can see some of it here already happening, but I want to see more of it. I would recommend to do more pages of, I think I mentioned it before to you too, more pages of doing straight lines. Just do pages, fill pages of doing straight lines of like in every direction, back and forward, like pages going up, pages going left, pages going right, like fill pages doing straight lines. So The more, so when you start doing more homework and stuff, I can see you doing this on the back. I can see you doing this on the ear and like this. And I can see you doing that and this. And you don't have to rely so much on making little lines. And your drawing's trying to have more of that little movement to them. And your eye is really cute. And I think this has a lot of potential with all the information you put there. This eye is a little bit more round. Yours is a little more almond. And I think it has a lot of potential. And I will like, this is just a side note for you because I see you put so much effort on this eye and I see so much information you gather from this. This is just a homework particular for you. I would recommend, if you can, do a little homework of draw like 5 to 10 eyes. Like go to some Google images and pull up some close-up of animal eyes and just break them down to their basic shapes and get used to the anatomy of the animal's eyes. And I think that's going to help you too with upcoming homeworks that we're going to do. I'm going to do a class on eyes too. But I think you might have fun too, so you can plug those in on future classes. Because I can see how much love and effort you put on those eyes. I think you might have fun with that. I've been trying to get more lights. Yeah. I can see from last class, from your last one to this one, I can already tell you're getting more confident with the lines. Okay, next one, Alex. Oh my God, 15 minutes. I'm trying to get to everybody. Alex, this is really cute. I don't know if I had you in my class before last. I think I recognize your name. This is a really pretty blue group. It's a blue Russian, I believe. I wish I saw more of the building up to this, of the homework. I don't know if you saw the last two classes. I recommend you can go back and see them on YouTube. I like that you have your proportions. Your proportions are pretty good. I will say maybe make this head a little bit smaller, proportion-wise. I think the head is a little bit about here. And I will also I would recommend to watch the class from last time. No, the one from before. No, the one before last. To show that where I talk about like make this type of guide. And then that helps you with this finding where things are at. So example, in this guy, his little legs are on this side of the line. And yours have a little leg on each side of the line. So that's going to help you knowing where placements are. So you know now that his entire body is on the left side of that line. And for new folks, so I was saying like it's a pretty good starting of that guideline. Imaginary line is a star imaginary line. It's like from the nose, the middle of the nose of your animal, and go straight up and down. And then that can give you a pretty good idea where things are situated. And then you look at yours. And then you compare where yours is at. And then you start correcting from there. So from there, now you know that your body needs to be on the other side. So, you know, a little leg should be here and the other little leg should be there. It should be something like that. So I will start from there. If you have a chance to watch that video from 2 classes ago, that definitely is going to help you. I really like the little hat you put on it. I think that's really cute. And I also like that you grounded it, that it's not just floating in the air. And that you included the little paws and the tail. That's really adorable. And that you did it traditional. All right, let me see. Okay, we're getting to Cure. Cure, I have to say that I was like, holy shit, but I love it. I was like, whoa. But at the same time, I was like, oh, I love it. I was like, this is what I live for. So to keep it 100, this amount of craziness that I'm seeing here in line, this is what happens, but in my head. So this is usually what happens, but it's usually in my head. So usually only make like, I need like a different color, something you guys can actually see. Okay, you can see that color. I usually do like the main one and that and everything else. I usually do the edges too, but everything else is more in my head. And this is like if you translated every line in my head visually. I was like, holy cow. And then part of me is like, oh, but I love it. I love, I really like seeing the level of dedication, and also I like seeing the thinking behind it, like the lines that, again, what I said before to Blue Red, it's like I like seeing the lines that you are choosing to compare. They're not just like random lines. There are specific ones that you're choosing. And I like seeing those. I don't know what's happening around here. That's pretty crazy there. I assume you were trying to get the angles of the mouth. But I'm going to move on to this one. Yes, you were trying to get oh no, you were trying to get the angles of the mouth. Yes, what I was talking about before. Okay. On your actual sketch, I absolutely love seeing all the structure, the mesh on it, like the change of planes that you're leaving there for me to see, kind of like a 3D model mesh. Mwah, delicious. I love seeing that. Even the curving of the ears, the cheekbone, the structure, the eye socket, the pads. I really love that. I love that you left that there to see it. I thought you did a fantastic job. And I also like how you kept the curves of the animal where they are. I think that's very lovely. I think your planes are very good. I don't have more critique to say, to be honest. It's pretty good, your translation. If anything, I will just say, again, this is just nitpicking. It's just really, really nitpicking, but it's because you went to this level of effort. I will say, looking at it, I think this is shorter in the cat. I think yours is a little bit longer. And his face is a little bit more tucked in. I don't know how you say that. The snout is a little bit shorter. And yours is a little bit more out. That's about it. Because when I do this, let me see the end of it, almost on the little nostril. It's pretty accurate. It's just more like in general. But no, it's pretty good. I don't know why this looks to me like if you're like watching a movie, like the Mummy movie, and then you're looking at the technical detectives, like looking at the computers or something with like these old files that we have, and like that you go through screen on you go through the screen, and then you see their screen on their TV on their monitor, and this is one of the images they have. and hands, exactly. And this is one of the X-ray visions that they have of the mummy cat of their archives or whatever. But no, this is really, really lovely. I really have no critique to say. This is very nice. If anything, if you have a chance, just clean it up. Clean it up without all this line. Like just show me the outline and post it on the homework chat, and I would love to see it finish and give you a final critique. I think this is a very nice drawing, and I like seeing how you were thinking about volume and how the guidelines. Let me know. You actually have a finished one. I'd love to see it. I would like to know if this line guide helped you at all with landmarks or no, something. Oh, you posted it? Okay, I'll look it up in the chat in a second. I would like to know if this helped at all, the line guide, the guidelines at all, technique. Okay, I'm moving up to rocks. Yeah, it absolutely helped. Awesome. I'm very glad to hear. All right, let's move into rocks. Rocks, if you're in the house, This is so precious. I can't. I just know that here in the chat is somebody named Morgan, and I know that person named Morgan will love this. This is so freaking cute. I can. I love both elements of it. But let's get back first to the drawing. I love your drawing. I seriously have absolutely no notes to tell you on this because it's great. I love your proportions. I love your quality of line, your plane. I love how you chose to do the thick and thin. I love how you kept your curves. Your curves are very lovely, very soft, like very soft, very charming. Very charming how you pick your lines. I love the little eye. Yeah, it's just your drawing is very cute. Oh, I forgot to upload the guidelines. I have a big square. Oh, gotcha. If you want to post it just for me to check it out. There's Morgan. I knew she was gonna like this. Yes, so this is Gold Star. I have nothing to say. Gold Star rocks. This is beautiful. Beautiful drawing of the bunny. And when it comes to the stylization, I love it. I love that you did the crystals. I love that you did the crystal shape and the fire shape. Since you already went all out on this, on this, I will just give you a technique or like a technique, no, or like a tip. I don't know, maybe you already know it or not, or people that don't know. Usually when you draw crystals, every time that you change planes on a crystal, you get an edge. And every time you get that change of plane on the edge, you get a highlight on the change of planes. So the easiest way for me to do that is I usually will make a new layer, make it on soft light, and pick white. And then go to town, or you can also overlay, and then go back and erase. And then so every time crystals switch planes, you get a highlight on that edge. I don't know where else you have. And then I go back and erase it. I usually go with like a 30%. Usually. But this is like a really crappy fast version of making it. And the farther away it is, the less the highlight. And the closer it is to the camera, the sharper the highlight it is. And that's for like crystals, usually. And another thing with crystals you can do is they usually have a side of a gradient. So I usually make it like a white gradient, like 20%. And then you just you gotta choose where your light source is, of course. But this is just doing like a really crappy version. But yeah, they usually have that. That's like how you can do like really fast crystals. And you keep going. So this is like a quick tip. And for fire is pretty similar. I will say it's the closer that you get to the actual item is where it gets bright. It's when it gets almost white. That when it's when it gets hot. And it gets darker as it gets farther away. There we go. Alrighty. So I'm gonna move on. I hope this helps. But yeah, Rox, this is really, really, really cute. Alright, Godslayer. Geez whiz, this cat is so ready for the dome in Mad Max. Seriously. By the way, I have one more person to go. I don't mind going 5 minutes over because I waited 5 minutes for people to show up. Yeah, he's so ready for the dome. Mad Max cat. I saw that here's your original drawing, and again, you went all out doing all the shapes all around, all the views, which is really cool. I like seeing how you're keeping the proportions of it wherever you go, whatever you turn it. I mean, I really like seeing again the line guidelines that you're choosing to pick, their distances. I like seeing this triangle on the nose. I usually pick that triangle too. Usually I do that with oils. I can pick that shadow with color. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this one because it's finished. I think it's really cool. This looks almost like a Dragon Ball Z Frieza thing. So notes on this, because again, it's stylized. It's stylized, so I feel like I cannot give you too much critique on this Chipokemon because it's stylized. But if I were to make it, if you wanted to be more photorealistic of anything, to the original cat, again, I would say this plane. The plane of the nose to the chin, and yours is like this. Again, it's like if the jaw was too long and you're having an underbite. So it's like you're having an underbite, and it is that will be one of the main ones. Other one is, I will say, the eye socket. This I feel like it's a little bit more wider. And I don't know, I feel like yours is like more skinny, and then this is the whisker pad is too skinny and long. Kinda like this is more like this shape, and yours is more like that shape. Does that make sense, what I'm trying to say? And like this, the eyes are more, yeah, more like here, and yours are more like here. So that will be like my only critique. But again, you're doing stylization. So besides that, I think it's really cool. I thought you did a really good job. And I like where you pick the curves versus where you pick the straights, where you chose to do that. I think that's really dope. I'll say keep doing that. Keep doing you. I can't wait to see what else you do. Oh, we're saying like the length actually is because I didn't knew how to connect it. Are you talking about this thing I mentioned before? That this is like that tricky part on animals? Yeah. Maybe I'll write that down. Maybe I'll do an entire class on different animals then, on what I mentioned earlier, that this is the trickiest part. I mean, it's something that I even study. Like I even have a hard time with that. It's something I study. Every time I do an animal portrait, I have to do different turns around or look up images and trying to understand what's going on here. It's I would say it's the hardest part for me in an animal. It's this little guy. That or what happens here. Depending on the animal, how it connects. I usually hide it with fur, but when they're skinny, it's harder. But yeah, keep doing you. This is cool, Godslayer. And last one, Blitz. Blitz, you keep killing me with your capybaras. I can't with your full metal capybaras. Sergeant Bara, Sargento Bara. Okay, Sargento Bara. This is really funny. Okay, like that you're doing the guides. This is pretty good. Let me see where the eye is. All right, you're keeping your proportions right. Yeah, your proportions are pretty spot on. If anything, I would just say that he's not as chunky as you made him. Yeah, I would say he's just less chunky as you made him. And in anything, any note I will say is the eyes. If you see here, the eyelids are more out than the ears. And your ears are more out than the eyelids. So that's one thing for you to change, I will say, or to like go back and fix if you want, that the eyelid should be around here and the ears more in. But and also for you, I will say the same technique I told the other classmate is try to fill in pages of doing lines in different directions. That way you can get more confident with your line work. That way you don't have to do so much of that, and you can just do that. So you feel more expressions and less stiff with your drawings. Your stylization is freaking hilarious. Sargento Bara. This is really freaking funny. And I believe we have one more, one second. We have one more person that dropped off the homework last minute. I just want to plug it back in really quick. And then we move on. No, I think that's it. I think I got everybody. Yeah, I got everybody. Okay. So because of that, let me just show you really quick the homework. I want to post the homework immediately after class. I have it ready. And it's pretty much, I'm just going to post it immediately. I will recommend, if it's your first time here, or if you're from the past weeks, is to watch the class from 2 weeks ago and watch the class from last week. And we're going to be doing the exact same thing, but now we are going to do it with 2 animals. So what I'm going to be looking for is how you relate, one animal and you interlock it with the other animal. So now we're starting to get a little bit more complicated. And before, 2 weeks ago, I told you I didn't want to see the face of the animal in detail, like I didn't care. Now I do, because we did this last week. And that's about it, you guys. I'll go ahead and post the homework right after the class. And yeah, thank you for tuning in today, you guys. It was a pleasure again, and I'll see you all next week. I'm starting, I talked to Peter saying about the class, we talk about it next week, but I guess I can say about the mentorship. I'm going to start mentorship. Well, I'm starting mentorship now, you guys. So right now I'm taking only 3 mentees. So if anybody is interested and want to do a mentorship with me, let me know. I will be posting the information, all the details and information is going to go on the website pretty soon. But I'm only limited to 3 spots right now. And if any of you already know or would like to know more information, you can DM me or DM Dustin, and we can go ahead and give you the information or hold a spot for you. But more of the information, or if you want more information, let me know and I'll tell you in the DMs, or Dustin will too. But more of that will be coming soon on the website. And for the classes, the fundamental classes I'm going to be teaching, I think we have more information on that next week. Yeah, I think that's it, right? Well, thank you guys for tuning in on the homework. And I look forward to seeing everything you guys do next week. Any questions, pop it in on the homework channel, and I'll be checking it out and answering. So have a good night, you guys. Take care.